Tonight, on an all-new episode of The Wrestling Show, it is Season 2. And we take a look back in a week of wrestling, starting with the monopoly of wrestling. That's right. It is the corporation, the corporate wrestling entity known as AEW. Starting with Dynamite, moving on to Rampage. Then moving on to the WWE Universe. Big news in the universe this week. Starting with the NXT 2.0, moving to Raw, SmackDown, and finally, the greatest brand of them all, NXT UK. Ow! Welbo, welcome to the channel. I am your host, Lip, aka Tetsu Omega. That's right. And I'm glad you're here, listener, viewer. I am a very cynical man that loves wrestling. And I love to start my very cynical review with AEW, of course. Now we're going to start with, it's big, it is the Dynamite. And we start with Kenny Omega, not defending his title, or perhaps a runner-up for a contenders match for his title. Nope, it's just a regular match. And it's against, I guess he's the Dark Order. He is formerly known as Five. But now, he wants to be known as Alan Angel. Now it was okay. It wasn't a great match, but it wasn't a terrible match. But after the match, Kenny Omega tried to make an example out of Alan Page, or Alan Angel. But out comes Adam Page to save the day. Wonderful. Wonderful. The new leader of Dark Order, Adam Page. In and out, in and out. You know, but that's AEW. But they're all about. Can't stick to anything. So next up, what's supposed to be a face-to-face was basically looking forward to Rampage with the face-to-face. CM Punk and Eddie Kingston. And moving on to we have the Super Clique, the owners or the presidents of AEW themselves. Most of them, Nick and Matt Jackson, along with Brandon Cutler and I believe Adam Cole, baby. And they were met up with Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. A scuffle ensues. They take this out to the crowd because it's part of the show after all. You know, where Jungle Boy comes in, you know, and helps out his team. Ends up Adam Cole getting the concerto done on him. Crowd wanted one more, but Christian Cage would only give him one. And went down to talk smack to him, I guess. Now, Adam Cole does have a match later on. Will he be up for it? Or will those concertos mean absolutely nothing? We will soon find out. Next up, we've got a tag team match, a big tag team match, of newcomers to the wrestling. So you know who'd win. Automatically, newcomers never win. But this time it's Aerostar. That's right. This is for the AAA. Lucha's, AAA belt. It's another federation. Of course, this is why I say this is a monopoly of wrestling, because it's now AAA. Now representing the luchadors is, of course, Aerostar. Used to be Lucha Underground. And Samurai del Sol. Now, not to confused with Fuego del Sol. He's a completely different Del Sol. Not related either. Samurai is more related to Kalisto, I would believe. Now, these two are fighting against FTR. Best buddies, and they call themselves tag technicians, but they don't know what tag team match is all about. But they're best buds that like to wrestle. That's right. And who's going to win? Well, of course, it's going to be our very favorite Dax Shepard and Cash Wheeler with the big win. Now, even though our Lucha Bros, not Lucha Brothers, but what's his name? Aerostar went big a lot of times, and a lot of times Aerostar, well, one time he could have really, he almost landed on his head. It wasn't for, I believe, Dax Harwood saving the day, catching him properly and making sure he doesn't drop directly on his head. Whew. Very sloppy indeed. Indeed, very sloppy. But at the end, I believe it was Cash Wheeler with the roll-up pin. The ref clearly doing his job as an AEW ref. His face buried right by the other guy's face. Any referee in the WWE would easily catch this. This is easy catchable. Dax Harwood with the grab of the ropes, and they win the match. Typical. So next up we have the Inner Circle with Chris Jericho coming in the ring. With the men's, with American Top Teams, Dan Lambert. So apparently they're supposed to pick out custom matches or something like that. Pick out their opponents. I'm not too sure. It's very confusing to me. May not be to the normal viewer, but to me it was. So apparently, Jake Hager picks out Junior Dos Santos. Is that the match? Who knows? I've seen it before. It's maybe part 2, right? Number 2. Maybe this time Junior Dos Santos will actually win. Without it, though. Santana, he picks out somebody. He picks out Andre Orlovsky. I'm pretty sure Andre would smash some heads. But the most curious of them all is Chris Jericho. He goes out and picks Dan Lambert. Dan's very confused about the whole situation. Thinking, why are you picking me for? I'm a promoter. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a... Whatever. Chris Jericho, I guess that's what he picks out his competition. You know, I guess he's done with wrestling. So next up we've got that's right. This is the most important thing. This is the corporate women's champion, representing Ted Turner himself. And it is Jamie Hayter versus Dark Order's Anna Jay. Now, I would have figured Dark Order was on a little bit of roll. They would have caught this. But I forget it's Jamie Hayter, and she's with her boss, employer, Dr. Britt Baker, and fellow receptionist, Rebel. And of course, Aubrey is the referee, queen of turning her head. So that would tell you a lot about the match, and it did. 2 times that Rebel, Jamie Hayter needed to cheat, and 2 times it worked. And the second time it paid off, for they came out on top as victory. So moving on to the next round is, of course, Jamie Hayter. But before the matches ends, I guess Dr. Britt Baker and Rebel come out with the beatings on Anna Jay. So Taya Conte comes in for the help, comes in to assist. But then she eventually gets beaten down too. But Thunder Rosa comes in finally to help them both out and clearing the ring. Now I suppose it's Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter next time. So I guess that's why she helped out, and that's the only reason why. I'm not sure why to help out, but hey, it's AEW. Whatever it means, it means. Next up, we've got MJF. MJF in the ring here. You know, talking about Darby Allin. Even talking about them two being the top 2 competitors in the AEW. Which makes no sense at all. I mean, Darby Allin was once upon a time the TBS. He was a corporate champion of the, Ted Turner champion. And MJF, he won that ring that no one cares about. He punches people in the head with every now and then. So does that make them top competitors? It doesn't matter. So Darby Allin goes to the ring, charges to the ring, where MJF really wanted nothing to do with it. So he leaves the ring, only to be met up with Sting and a bunch of clones. I'm not sure what's going on, but well-dressed people with masks on, paper cutout masks. I'm really not sure who it was of, but it was interesting. It got MJF back into the ring with Darby Allin, where they fought a little bit, and MJF escaped as usual. So next match is huge. It was culminating to this. It is Andrade versus Cody Rhodes, and as we all know, Cody Rhodes with the most pompous entrance of them all. Most pompous, and people. Yeah, I'm not sure if he knows this, but yeah, it's the most. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Everybody knows it. He thinks he's a humble guy, a likable, humble guy, but he's not. No one likes you, Cody Rhodes. And it's like this place here too. People cheered every now and then because, it is who you can cheer for, you or Andrade. It's hard to cheer for somebody. But when it came down to it, it was, FTR with the assist. With the belts to the head, I suppose, when there was a tope suicida to be done on Jose. But FTR from under the ring saved the day. Ref nowhere to be seen. So, yes, Andrade, big win. And did the fans go cheer or boo Andrade? I don't know, not really. So next up is a big one. This is for the Elimination Championship to meet Kenny Omega. It is now Orange Cassidy versus Miro. How's that gonna go? It's such a huge weight discrepancy. Miro, he's although he did lose to Sammy Guevara, which is him and Sammy and Orange Cassidy are like exactly the same size. But even though Orange Cassidy played his best, patronizing wrestling style, the light tap kicks, the arms, hands in pockets. It's fun for a little bit, but not against a person who like Miro. Miro, who is a serious threat of beating your ass for real. If you can beat someone up, and you can beat someone up, it's really good to do these things, But yeah, Miro with the camel clutch, with the big victory. Now, before Miro can do some beats after the match, he's met with his future contender opponent, Bryan Danielson. That's right. Meet in the ring face to face. A little bit disrespect going on there, but that is that. But that is that, everybody. Next up, we have AEW Rampage. Still is out. Okay, enough of that. Jeez. Okay, we have Rampage. We start off Rampage huge. It is Bryan Danielson versus the acclaimed Anthony Bowens. Now, I gotta say, the best part of this match has got to be the opener, where Max Caster laid out the sick rhymes. The rhymes really targeting Bryan Danielson's ego. If he had one, he would be crushed by those hateful words. I don't think it rolled off his back. But right off the bat, it is Aubrey is a referee in this match. So there's going to be a lot of back turning. But even with all the back turning in this match, I predicted Daniel Bryan would win, and he did win. It was a fun match. Definitely the match of the night. Next up, we've got the in-ring, face-to-face. CM Punk and Eddie Kingston. It was good. Eddie Kingston brings the fire every time he's actually there. I like to see Eddie Kingston, if in the beginning of Eddie Kingston going into wrestling, if Eddie Kingston was hitting the gym, doing the training all the time, and, because Eddie Kingston is a natural talent, I think. He's a natural mic speaker. He's a natural talent in the ring. He's got a great style. But I think if he would have engaged wrestling as a full-time thing, who knows where he could be right now. I bet he would be to the moon. But no, he is a sack of mashed potatoes inside a wrestling unitard. So next up, we got of course, this is the network champion. This championship belongs to Ted Turner, the Turner Broadcast System champion. And right now we have the Bunny versus Red Velvet Rhodes in this match. Now I would have thought Red Velvet would be a championship material in my mind. She, of course, has proven herself many times that she's got tenacity, she's got the ruthless aggression to carry, and the mic skills to carry the women's championship. So, who's going to win? Of course, I'd be wrong. Why would the Bunny win? She's a worthy contender, someone to carry the brand on her shoulders. She's ready for it. But no, I suppose it's Red Velvet Rhodes getting that win. Congratulations. Moving on. And I believe Jade Cargill was there as the next opponent. So I guess that's why. Jade Cargill versus... it's going to be Jade Cargill going on next round. I have no doubt. So we have the main event here. The main event of Rampage. Now they have the host of the main event pre-match interview. It's with the Mark Henry finally doing something. I'm not sure why this is necessary, but this really ignited something in Adam Cole's tights, because he was not pleased. Wanted to become taken seriously, damn it. Seriously, he's a pro wrestler joining his best friends in a group that he can't lose. So it is John Silver versus Adam Cole. Now this had everything. Now you'd think Adam Cole's going to be using the Young Bucks as his help, and in the match they did try to help. They put clearly throwing Adam Cole's leg on a rope, even though he could have done it himself, to thwart the pin. So the Dark Order comes in and clears out the Young Bucks, even though they had a great sequence outside the ring, where Adam Cole has the camel clutch on the camel clutch, and Young Bucks come up and sweetly kiss him on the cheek, both sides, saying, "Thank you, Adam Cole, for saving our company. Thank you for bringing all your fans to our company. We appreciate it." But even though the Young Bucks were taken out by the, Dark Order, Adam Cole still gets the last shot. He gets a big win over John Silver. And why would John Silver win over Adam Cole anyways? Even though Adam Cole could have phoned it in, he kind of did. But it was a really good match. But nothing compared to Bryan Danielson. Next up, we go on to the WWE Universe with huge news. That's right. Thank you. This is huge news coming from the WWE. Many people, of course, know this. It is old news now. But they have a second round of layoffs in the WWE. Now, I always knew Scarlett. She's might have been around for a long time. Wonder why. Karrion Kross has been off a little while now, so now they're both officially off the roster. Keith Lee, now he had a huge win against Cedric Alexander with a big crushing win. Even Bearcat, I guess maybe Bearcat is like, you know what, we like Keith Lee, but we don't like Bearcat. I don't know. I'm just saying things because I'm an idiot. So Keith Lee is now gone. With his future wife, I suppose, because Keith Lee can't keep the one without the other. So Mia Yim is also with Keith Lee. She's also been released. Nia Jax, she had a huge run with the WWE, never really hitting the top of the pinnacle. She'd be great added to the AEW. But she never got the respect she deserved in the WWE, which is really unfortunate. She should have been a champion by now. But instead, she's been released. Now we have the tag team, of course, Gran Metalik and Lince Dorado. Lucha House Party. I can see them being a definite new part of AEW or Impact, the AEW family. Let's face it, it's AEW versus NXT. AEW is the world versus NXT right now. So, okay. So next up we have Eva Marie. Now, she really hasn't been wrestling for years. She's been in wrestling matches, but she really doesn't know how to wrestle. She's very beautiful. She's got a gimmick that can work. I'm not sure. Well, yeah, she's got mic skills that can make you really hate her. But I guess WWE says that's enough. And so is B-Fab. B-Fab, good mic skills, but she's just like Eva Marie. She's very bad in the ring. I called that out early. But unfortunately, they did not give her the opportunity to prove herself. They pushed her too fast, too hard, too fast, perhaps. It was too fast. So next we move to the NXT releases. Now, I guess it's goodbye to the Robert Stone brand. You know, Aaliyah, she left months ago. No, she went to the main roster, thank goodness. Okay, so that was a huge eye-opener. Because Aaliyah was Robert Stone brand at one time. So Frankie Monet is now gone, along with Jessie Kamea, which made up the Frankie Robert Stone brand. So I wonder, with Frankie Monet gone, will John Morrison be following her? After all, he's been off for a long time reinventing himself. Perhaps reinventing himself to the AEW. Be sad to see him leave, but I can see him leaving. His wife is not there anymore. It's got no reason to stay. So next we got Ember Moon. She's gone. Oni Lorcan. Gone. You know, now, this is a sad thing. Cora Jade's boyfriend. He's gone. With Trey Baxter. That's right. So we have Zayeda Ramir, Katrina Cortez, the Lucha Libre, and Ajit Rama, who had his last match just recently. All gone. Well, that is round 2 of the releases. And I bet we'll see most of these wrestlers come up somewhere else. Either joining, Dirty Dango, you know, or AEW, or in their allegiance to Impact, AAA, New Japan, you know, Game Changer. Who knows? There's many things out there. Okay, so next up we have NXT 2.0. That's right, next NXT 2. Now, NXT's gone through a lot of changes. They've gone through some changes. But the first new change, obviously, is it's gone from very dark to very colorful. The gimmicks are more loud, and it reminds me of a very special time in WWE history. I say special because it's not a great time, because NXT is no longer really NXT anymore, is it? NXT UK is what NXT should be. More like actual wrestling. You know, people with personalities who wrestle, not wrestling personalities. You know what I mean? So I'd say, if you look back in your history, there's called the New Generation, the WWF. It's gone by that fast. It's with the Repo Man was in that era. You know, Too Cool, Coco Beware, Dude Love. We got Kamala, and our all-time favorites, the Bushwhackers. Who didn't hate the Bushwhackers? They're goofy, clowny, and they went all out. Crazy. But we first start off for NXT with the Toxic Attractions, Mandy Rose. You know, she calls out, EO comes out to fight her, and then we have Gigi Dolan and JC Jane comes out to fight. Big brawl where Io Shirai is joined not by, her Zoe Starks, where you think, her old tag team partner. Nope. She's joined in by Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter. Team Casey. I guess you'll have ourselves some sort of crazy match in the future. You know, maybe a 6-man tag for something. Maybe winner takes it all. But now next we have our very first match. It is the women's division. It is Dakota Kai's returning match. The new look. She's looking very Road Warrior-ish, very ready to fight. Versus our very loving Cora Jade, who just lost her boyfriend to irrelevancy, apparently. So the skater girl, Cora Jade, beat, of course, Frankie Monet, who's now no longer with us, which is unfortunate. Is that? So we move on to here, which Cora Jade did a great match, had a great showing. Even though we had a double take on the final spot, I'm not sure what was supposed to happen the first, but they repeated it. They've done it over again. Thank goodness. I'm not sure. That was just really weird. But then in the end, we had a Dakota kick, a super kick to the head, where Dakota Kai came out victorious in this match. Victorious! Which was wonderful. What a great way to start NXT, which I truly think is suffering right now. And this shows you why this next match is the confusion of what the future is bringing to NXT. It is what's left of Robert Stone brand, Robert Stone himself, who is left of the brand. Now, this is supposed to be a match, but apparently it's a two-step match. First, it's a song and dance competition. Then it turns to a match. So it is Robert Stone versus our favorite Zion Quinn, rugged fighter, the Kiwi fighter, New Zealand. Is he more than just muscle and meathead? Does he have personality? Of course he does. Yes, singing "Sexy Boy" by Shawn Michaels. Doesn't take much to sing it though. He's a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Okay. To save myself embarrassment any longer, just like him. Now this whole singing number turns dance routine / wrestling fight. So I'm not sure. It's like Dirty Dancing, without the dirty part. So he had to lift like Patrick Swayze did. I'm not sure what was going on, but eventually Robert Stone was actually thrown around a ring like a rag doll, because it eventually turned to a wrestling match. And Zion Quinn with a big confusing match, but a big win? What's going to happen with Robert Stone now? I'm not sure. Really not doing much. It's very sad for Robert Stone. Moving on to a very good tag team match is Legado del Fantasma. That's right. They are fighting the very new together team, Von Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly. Now, Kyle and Von Wagner got the upper hand with strength, but Del Fantasma has got the intelligence in the match. They got their suave. They know how to work as a tag team. But it's weird how it ended, though. Von Wagner and O'Reilly went their separate ways to do a double tandem move. O'Reilly was taken out, and that's right. Joaquin Wilde got the roll up on Von Wagner. How things fell apart that quickly, but it's good for Legado del Fantasma with another victory under their belt. Who knows what their future's gonna hold? But it's going to be a while before they get a title shot, I'm sure. So next up, we've got a beautiful thing. Andre Chase, he's a throwback, definitely, of old times, of the New Generation era. Now he represents Chase fighting in his finest of, sweater and t-shirt. So he has a big match. Not really big match. He has an open challenge. He's open challenging somebody. Who wants to fight Andre Chase? So who picks a fight with Andre Chase? It is, of course, Braun Breaker, who just lost his leash of the match with, Tommaso Champa. Now, I suppose he's very upset about the loss. And truly, he showed it. Now, of course, it wasn't a complete squash. Andre Chase did put in a couple of moves, but it was, by golly, it was a smashing with an official fresh power slam. Braun Breaker with a massive win. And was it shocking to anybody? No. But it was a fun match. It was indeed a fun match. Now after the match, Braun Breaker talked about how he respected and stuff like that about Tommaso Champa. But next time, Tommaso Champa. So next we have a backstage segment with Imperium talking German, very official. They didn't have a German accent, they literally just talked German. They were met back there with, Toxic Attractions, very own JC Jane and Gigi Dolan. Wishing them good luck, I suppose. A little bit of chemistry going on there, maybe. It seemed pretty good. You know, there could be a team combination going on. Who knows, because we've not seen Walter in a long time. In a long time, we have not seen Walter. After his big loss, well, we haven't really seen him before the big loss. After 2. So next up, we have got a big match. We've got a big match. It is, with Andrade Chase. No, it is, sorry about that. It is, Solo Sikoa versus, of course, the recently departed Jeet Rama, who's just been released. Not departed, he's been released from his contract. So with the big win, clean victory, it was Solo Sikoa, and his finishing move would be make the Usos proud with a top rope splash. You know, he may call himself Solo Sikoa, but I will call him Johnny Uso. That's right. There's Jimmy, there's Jay, and there's not quite identical twin, Johnny. Okay, that's enough talking smack. And now talk more smack about Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen with a backyard vignette about who they really are. Basically, it's Briggs and Jensen, 2 different promos entwined together to make one promo. So basically, it was 2 stories, one tale. That's right. Or 2 men and 1 equals 1 story. That's right. Lost my place on my papes. Next up, we got a big match. Is Tian Shah's Boa versus Grayson Waller. Now, Grayson, his biggest thing was getting beaten up by, I believe, Solo at Halloween Havoc. Now comes back to redeem himself against Boa. Now, at ringside, there was his biggest unfan, LA Knight, who they did have the big thing at Halloween Havoc, even though both of them were not, in fact, host of Halloween Havoc. It was at Puppet Chucky. That's right. So, with something that Grayson Waller was looking forward to is an okay match. Grayson Waller was looking for his patented Froggy Bow. That's right. He was going for the ropes, getting on ropes, and before he can jump, he was accosted by LA Knight, wiping his feet off the rope rings, off the ropes, yes, as he went off it. Ref didn't see it. He fell off unceremoniously, and then receiving a kick by Boa. So with that came a big win. Now next up, we've got during the whole show they had the vignettes of Duke Hudson and his gambling tournament, and he had a special guest, Cameron Grimes. Now I suppose Duke Hudson thought Cameron Grimes be a fool and lose all his money to Duke Hudson, but as the night progressed, it was Cameron Grimes who's getting it all. And at the end, it was Cameron Grimes showing who, in fact, was in control of this entire thing. Duke Hudson thought he was the man, but in fact, Cameron Grimes proved him wrong. With that, going to a match, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this had to do with wrestling in the first place. Maybe they're both injured. But that was one thing, the Duke Hudson's Poker Room. It was not that good. Next up, we have Kaylee Ray saying that next week is her week to show up and kick butt. Hopefully you do so, because you are the best talent there. Unfortunately, with the new NXT, who knows? Who knows where they're going to lose you between the cracks. Next up, we've got Tommaso Champa with the State of the Union, I guess. His, speech of NXT champion. Cut short by Carmelo Hayes. That's right. And Trick Williams coming in. Talking schmack. Saying their belt is number one belt. And here's proof. Guess who's the main event? Not you, but us. And on the way out, Tommaso Ciampa with a nice walk on by with his old friend of me. That's right. Johnny Gargano. Papa John. So this leads us to a match. Now last week was it was a interesting romp. Not a match, a romp. In Dexter's Halloween Haunted House, where Carmelo got his belt back. So this time was an actual match. Looks like Johnny Gargano taking on some mannerisms of Dexter Lumis. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not, but they seem to be clicking a little bit. Maybe they're doing a tag team thing. Maybe a tag team division show would be what the doctor ordered for the NXT WWE universe. With the you'd think the Way would win, but apparently they did not win. It was an interesting finisher, but it was Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams with a big win over the Way, which I thought was going to be the other way around, but was not. Okay, that's NXT. Moving on to the WWE's Raw, the flagship show. That's right, Raw. And it starts with the Raw Women's Championship match. It is Becky Lynch versus Becky with Bianca Belair. Now, Bianca says she beat Charlotte Flair, but she didn't beat Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, she didn't lose to her either, but you didn't beat her. You got a victory over her, which was Shayna Books, but, it was a chair shot. So, semantics, right? So in this thing here, it was a very interesting match. It was a back and forth match. Bianca Belair gets Becky Lynch on for the kiss of death, very close to the ropes. Becky Lynch grabs onto the ropes for dear life, then grabs a turnbuckle, pulls the padding clear off the turnbuckle, which gives her momentum of throwing her right off the shoulders of Bianca Belair, where she used the momentum and pushed her, Bianca, against that very turnbuckle, which is exposed. Now with that, she rolled her up. Forget about the finisher. Like I say, you don't need the finisher. It's just the roll up that counts. A good pin, nothing beats it. Not even the finisher. So coming out on top is Becky Lynch. Bianca, so many times to get on top again. I'm not sure what's going on. Has your time gone by? But you got to prove yourself again by going to the very bottom. Get to the bottom. So next up we've got, what's his name? Rey Fenix versus, that's right, Austin Theory. Now last week Austin Theory took out his boy Dominic Mysterio, which by coincidence Dominic would be joining them, wearing his absolute ripoff of the Wu-Tang shirt, his best one, the Mysterio's new Wu-Tang ripoff shirt. So there they met up, face to face in the ring. Mysterio versus, that's right, it is Austin Theory. It was a good match. It could have been better. Did a nice sequence outside of the ring where Mysterio tried to jump on Austin Theory. Austin catches him. Dominic Mysterio then gets involved. He throws Mysterio's legs around, which then in turn gives gives Austin Theory a DDT in the outside. Now this got Dominic all pumped up. For next time, Ray got Austin set up for the 619, gets him to the ropes. Dominic comes up and whammo, punches, lays one on to Austin Theory. That's right. And I guess, even though I seen the ref not looking, clearly not seen it, but ref had an inkling, had a suspicion that he punched him. And right there, he disqualified Rey Mysterio for his son's actions. And why? I didn't know. I'm trying to help. Now, next up, we have the face-to-face encounter. Big E Langston, or Big E, I should say. No Langston, sorry. My mistake. Big E versus Seth Rollins. The man. So meet up in the ring. It came down to Big E saying, you want to fight? I will fight you today. I want to fight you so bad. It's today. But you know what? That's not for Seth. Seth, I guess, has to recover over his big match, after winning the contract. But never fear. Kevin Owens is there to take on the main event spot with Big E. Big E clearly saying, yes, sure, why not? So moving on to our next match. It is a tag team match. It is our tag team champions, Nikki, almost a superhero, and Rhea Ripley. They haven't been fighting at all recently. I haven't seen them in the tag team match for a while, but now they're finally in another tag team match against Queen Zelina and Carmella. Now, I'm not sure why Carmella is not. Let me get this. I don't know why Queen Zelina didn't knight Carmella yet, like Xavier Woods did to Sir Kofi. Carmella could be a madame, or ma'am, or a dame Carmella, perhaps. But what's really funny about the WWE? Their tag teams, women's division. When Tamina and Natalya had the belts, every match they had were contenders matches. For the next champion, the next contenders are contenders for the belt. So if they beat them again, they'd get the belts. But every time they'd have another contenders match after another for different people. And they would lose all of them. Now, would this trend continue with new champions? This is a non-title match. And of course, it is Queen Zelina and, Dame Carmella. Now, next up, we've got, it's a strange thing backstage. It's American Alpha. Chad Gable trying to get Big E to be part of his team with Otis. Chad Gable, who's not won a singles competition match in years, wants Big E to be part of his stable. But he says, nevertheless, he's got a match against Finn Balor. And he's going to show Big E exactly what, Chad Gable's made of by making an example out of Finn Balor. Now, this was probably Chad Gable's greatest match he's ever had in WWE, thanks to Finn Balor, making him look like a superhero. But in no way would Chad Gable get that win. There's no way, And it's true. With a superplex off the top rope and going for the pin, but with the roll through, Finn Balor rolled through that superplex and got the roll up pin against Chad Gable, and of course, Chad Gable loses, and why not? He always does. Next happening again is backstage again. The Dirty Dogs confronting a Riddle, talking about how they're going to be the next in line to fight for the tag team championships. They're going to beat the Street Profits. It's unfortunate that they think that. So it is the Street Profits versus Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins versus Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Now they had a sequence outside the ring where Angelo Dawkins got his head smashed into a post, But But it turns out, what's that? They have an outside sequence where everybody jumps out, almost is out there. But when they get into the ring somehow, that huge sequence, Ford jumps into the Dirty Dogs, almost comes in, and huge. But when they come back in, it's really strange. It's hard to explain it, but seems that Montez Ford just falls unconscious, and then Dolph Ziggler lands on top of him for the finish. I'm not sure exactly why or what happened, but then almost finishes the job. That was very confusing. I guess almost is very upset with the Street Profits for disrespecting them so many weeks ago. I mean, it's wrestling. Come on, get over it. So next up, we've got a no disqualification match. It's a part two-er. That's right, it's T-Bar versus our favorite. It is Damian Priest. Now, it was kendo sticks galore. Damian Priest took many a kendo stick shot. But at the end, it was a reckoning for Damian Priest. But at the end of the match, Damian Priest showed the many scars on his stomach of how hard he went out fighting that match against T-Bar. I'm not sure what's going on with T-Bar. Seems like winning's not his thing, as like Isla Dawn. Maybe he might find a little niche for himself. What makes T-Bar T-Bar? He could have a good career. He's a big size guy, but WWE has been getting rid of people left, right, and center. And speaking of getting rid of people, it looks like there's a good chance all these people are going to get rid of soon. It is R-Truth with Tozawa meeting Johnny, Drip Drip, or John Morrison backstage. Then they're going to go after Reggie for the tag team, for the 24/7 championship belt, which is completely lost now. They're really not doing much of that. So who knows how many people Johnny Drip Drip, John Morrison, has he gone last too much longer? I don't know. Okay, now it is Becky Lynch saying, who's next for Becky Lynch? And showing up is Liv Morgan, thinking she's next for Becky Lynch. Really, Liv Morgan? I don't know. I mean, you've lost many times to Carmella. Shouldn't Carmella be there? Dame Carmella be challenging instead of you? So now we go to the main event match. It's quite interesting, in fact. It was back and forth. Seth Rollins coming in to join the commentating team. And before he leaves, he gives Biggie a good smash in the head before he leaves, right? And then he's on his way out. Kevin Owens sees this huge thing and goes, oh, what's going on? I better take advantage of this. So he goes to cover him. Straight up Superman cover. Biggie hooks Kevin Owens and pins him. So retaining title is Biggie. And Kevin Owens trying to apologize, going, oh, it wasn't me. I didn't know he wasn't doing for me. Maybe I should have taken advantage of that. No. Big ending for Kevin Owens. No forgiving. No forgivey. Next up, we've got Smackdown. That's right. Smackdown started off with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline talking smack to the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, so King Xavier and Sir Kofi. Showing up in the to meet them is Kofi and King Xavier. King Xavier with a wonderful speech about the head of the table. Who is really the head of the table, you or the king? And I will take on Jimmy Uso. And if Jimmy Uso wins, I will acknowledge you as king. And if I win against Jimmy Uso must bendeth thy knee. And with some words of wisdom, Roman talked to Jimmy and then accepted the challenge for the main event. Who's going to win? Well, we go on to our first match. It is Naomi versus Shayna Basler. Who would win? Really, Shayna would have no chance, no time at all beating Naomi, realistically. But in this match was different. Naomi with the roll-up pin. Like I always say, the roll-up is the most powerful move in wrestling. You don't even need a finisher for the roll-up. So she rolls up in the middle of the ring, but no. It is Sonya Deville comes in saying, no. You held on the ropes, I saw it, your arms stretched. 5 feet to get that rope. So before they get this match started, and before they can shout, what? It was a Carafuna clutch thrown on by Shayna Basler. Tap out by Naomi. Is it Sonya Deville abusing her power? Of course it is. But why against Naomi? Could it be she hates her? Or could it be that she secretly is in love with Naomi, but hates the fact that she's married? Moving on, we've got a Michaela Braxton interview. Opening up somebody, she can open up anybody, make anybody talk, and she did with Ridge Holland, his man crush on Sheamus. Talk about all Sheamus's good things. Perhaps they could be partners in the future. Sheamus can definitely push somebody. Now, will they instantly be friends? I doubt it. I'll bet any money that there will be some sort of trials match. So I believe Ridge Holland will have to prove himself through matches with Sheamus, I suppose. We'll knock him up fights. Next up, we've got Shotzi Blackheart talking about, of course, Sasha Banks ruining things for her. But now it's Shotzi 2.0. No more tank. So we got another tag team matchup, another match going on. It is the newly put together. They're called, now they have a name. The name is Los Lotharios. That's right. Los Lotharios is Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. Versus, of course, the newly singled Mansoor. Him and Mustafa split up. Now, Mansoor found a new partner in Cesaro. But, like I always say, Mansoor, by himself, he wins, and he wins, he can lose. But when Susie's with a tag team, he will lose, and it was Cesaro took the big loss against a nice double team of Los Lotharios with a huge win. Wonderful to see these tag team looking wonderful together with great chemistry. I love it. So next up, it is a backstage segment. Kayla Braxton introducing, Aaliyah and Jeff Hardy, but interfered with the whole thing was Sami Zayn with some insight of how to put up yourself to the next level, how to introduce yourself better to Aaliyah, and what he suggested to Aaliyah that, well, maybe Aaliyah, what's wrong? You should be wearing some pantsuits to take it to the next level. So next up, we've got a match again. Drew McIntyre with an open challenge, a Warriors challenge. It's a Warriors challenge because he's got no belt to offer. So he's offering a challenge just like, Chase, Andre Chase. He's got nothing to give. But the fact that to fight him. So coming in the ring is Ricochet. I will beat you. And he gives him a good old slap. Mistake 2. Mistake 1 was accepting challenge. Even though Ricochet did have put some nice moves in there, but let's face it, Ricochet was never going to win this match. He was throwing around, and then with a big Claymore to the upside down Ricochet, it is Drew McIntyre with a big old win, big fat win. So next up, I got a happy hour, happy talk with Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss, and they have the Vikings Express, T-Bar, no, it's I-Bar, and yes, and Eric, and supposed to be, I guess guests on their show, but that guest show thing quickly turned into a match. Of I-Bar and Eric squashing Happy Corbin and Madcap. Although it was sad that Jessica Carr had to be the ref in that match, but someone had to be, and it was her, and she counted out Madcap and Happy because they left the match. And count out victory went to the Viking Express. So next up, we got Sami Zayn giving more advice, this time to what's left of Hit Row. That's right, it is Top Dollar, Ashante Diadonis, and Isaiah Swerve Scott. B-Fab has just been released, so it's a trio now. So telling them how to make an entrance, and making a big entrance with Sami Zayn. And before they knew it, Sami Zayn thought he was going to get his butt beaten, but, hit row, let him leave without a scathe. So the main event, I guess it is Xavier Woods versus Jimmy Uso, and Roman Reigns not wanting any part of that. Like, no, you want to do it, you got to do it yourself. So it's a great match, a pretty good match. It was King Woods with a big victory, and before Jimmy Uso can bendeth the knee, it is Roman Reigns coming in and taking out Xavier Woods. Although Xavier did get the win, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. But the New Day got their ass pummeled, and the Bloodline goes out with a moral victory, unfortunately. Next up, we've got NXT, the greatest brand, UK, by far now. Now we start off with a huge match. It was Flash Morgan Webster versus Rampage Brown. Rampage, yes, an amazing competitor. He's proving himself. He looks pretty black and white, pretty bland, but in the ring he's got great skills. But in this match here, I thought it was going to be a squash. But Flash Morgan Webster showed some brilliance in this match. Even though he lost, he showed some absolute brilliance. Why he belongs in this wrestling industry. But it was at the end. You know what? Flash Morgan Webster with his fantastic top-and-notch 10 out of 10 tope suicidas. 2 of them in the match, in fact. He was so good. But even with them, it was Rampage Brown with a huge victory with the abductor bomb, the gut wrench power bomb. Wonderful, without a hitch. So next up, we got my favorite wrestler of them all, Isla Dawn. She has never won a match. Will she win now? I don't think she's ever interested in winning a match. She just likes beating people up and doing her thing, whatever her thing really is. So she's got a match with Angel Hayes. Now I thought this was going to be Isla Dawn's first win, but Isla Dawn got settled in pretty good, getting her hands wrapped up in Angel Hayes' hair, getting ready to do a finishing move, grab her leg, but then before she knew it, it was a 5 count, and she was counted for having the hair much too long. You're disqualified, Isla Dawn. You lose again. Very interesting. What's going to happen? I just love to see more of Isla Dawn. What is she like? She's the most interesting woman in wrestling. I think. She's fantastic. So next up, we got a face-to-face. It is Ili Draganov against Rampage Brown, who just went through a wonderful match against Flash Morgan Webster. Now this didn't go so well for Ilya after he got decked, laying on the ground. But you know what? Ilya's going to be a champion for at least the rest of 2021. Next year, maybe. He will hold for many months, I'm sure. They're so slow at title matches in the NXT UK. It's a good and bad thing. But we have our next title match, the women's, finally. Meiko Satomura, finally, with their putting her belt up for, against Ginny. Now backstage was Blair Davenport confronting them both, saying, I don't care who wins, I'm going to beat whomever. It's all right. So I thought it's time for Meiko to drop the belt against Ginny, who deserves the belt, who's been proving herself time after time why she's one of the best in wrestling. With Joseph Connors by her side and Amelia McKenzie by Meiko's side. Now, it was a great match, but in the end, it was Meiko Satomura retaining her title, starting with the Scorpio Rising, a finisher by itself. But she went on to another finisher. She did the old Death Valley Driver, retaining the belt. It was Meiko Satomura. Now, who knows when is Meiko gonna... okay. It's going to be a long time before Meiko gives up belt again. I think it's time that they get a secondary belt in NXT UK. But who knows? Maybe we'll talk about it another time. I've been your host, Lip, your critical host, Lip, a.k.a. Tetsu Omega. Talk to you next time on The Wrestling Show, saying bye-bye now.